There are people who are married, but they are side chicks to other married people. Guys like that, they cheat because they have money. You know, guys who don't have money, they cheat because they're unhappy. So many people don't understand that for their wife to become a married side chick, it was not because she wanted to. You brought in the spirit of side chicks, you gave it to her.
Sure.
You brought in the spirit of cheating, you gave it to her.
Yes, greetings at home, wherever you are. We greet you. We are back, and we appreciate that you can tune in. And with us, it is insightful exchange. And it's amazing how God has journeyed with us, and then you've joined us, some of you from the beginning, some of you joined us along the way, and you had to go back where we've started. We really appreciate it to be with us. And then today, I am not alone as usual. I'm with my brother, Mr. Elijah. How are you, sir?
I'm fine and I'm fabulous. It's a lovely winter.
Yes.
We love it. It's a bit cold, but I mean, it has to happen. That's the seasons of life. I mean, this time has to come. It shall pass too.
Yes. And then it shall pass, and then we get into summer quickly, and we'll be on chat probably with just the topless, and then we just come here.
Sure.
We show that we've got some muscles.
Yeah, sure. That would be great. I'm sure our viewers will love that.
Yeah, viewers will love that. I hope, but I don't know if they will love what we are going to talk about today.
I'm wondering, what are we talking about, by the way?
Because last time, man, we were talking about in-laws from hell.
Yeah.
And man, that was crazy. Yeah, and someone calls and they say, "Hey, Phiri no Masubelele, what's wrong with you guys?"
But at least we are addressing these issues that most people are afraid to tackle.
Yes.
You know, and we know that they are happening.
Yes.
So maybe the society needed this platform. You know,
Definitely.
That's why we have people calling us to say, "Nienza," we are going there to prod to say, "Are you having this issue ending or not? Let's fix it for you."
Definitely. And then we really appreciate all the feedbacks people are giving us. And today, man, hey, people should just get some water and drink
and relax,
because we're getting into your house now. Omakwapeni.
Side chicks.
How
fundis?
We're talking
We're
talking of our roll on Munabo side dish. In marriage, basically we look into that. Say in marriage, I don't know if probably also in the serious relationships or whatever. But you guide us more into the conversation today as I ask you some questions. And then you help us today.
Sure. Yeah.
Side chicks.
Yeah.
I'm just processing this. To say omakwapeni, we're more looking. I think our line. We're looking into what would make one to have a side chick.
Yeah, that's number one.
Yeah. What would make one to have a side chick? Why there is a side chick in marriage? Why there is a side chick in marriage? And then I want us to crack that for the beginning of our conversation. And I understand that our viewers know what is a side chick. But if anyone does not know what is a side chick, man, it's someone that which is in the relationship.
Yeah.
So in this instead, we are looking on the man who has another woman.
Yes.
That which has come into the relationship. Why would have such a trio in a marriage?
I think, Fundisi, before we get into the why,
yes,
let us first try to determine the types of side chicks.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, they are different.
They are different. That's funny.
I mean, I thought, right, side chick,
No.
okay.
There's a whole lot of them. In fact, there's 3 types.
Okay.
But what is even shocking and scaring is that as we are talking right now, endlini, there is someone who is a side chick and she doesn't know it. and she thinks that she is a main chick. But we will get to that later as to how can she determine whether she's a main or she's a side. So we've got one side chick that doesn't know that they're a side chick. And then we've got a side chick that has made being a side chick a career. So that is just, they have made a decision, good to Mina, I don't want stress, I just want to be a side chick. So they are available for, especially married men. You know, so that because for them, it's easily manageable. There's not much stress. You know, the stress is left to the wife. She comes and she does the fun. She relieves this man of stress and so forth. And then we've got a married side chick.
Okay.
So there are people who are married, but they are side chicks to other married people. You know, yeah. So we've got these 3 categories of these side chicks.
Okay.
Now the first one, remember, they don't know that they are a side chick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The second one, they're very conscious. That's their way of life. They chose a life of being a side chicks. It works for them. They know that you are married. They know your wife. They know your children. They actually decide on what happens in your home, you know, and you don't even know it. When your husband has got an issue, she takes the issue to the side chick to say, hey, my wife wants us to do this and this. What do you think? The side chick will make a decision to say no, say this and say that to her.
That's a professional.
That's a professional side chick, you know. So that's the one that has made.
Oh man. So it's more of an assistant.
She's an assistant wife.
She's an assistant wife.
You know. So that woman, it's well known. And what is even shocking to you, you'll find that the wife, in some instances, of the husband knows about her. Okay. But the 2 of them know their places. There is no confrontation. The wife has fought with the husband about it. She even gave up. Okay. But she knows that when my husband is not home, she's with Sarah. Okay. Yeah. So that's a well-known phenomenon about the side chick.
And how do we now on the second level of that? Yeah. On the second level of that, where they both know each other.
Yes.
And then how is polygamy an interplayer there, or it becomes different from that?
Yeah, you see, the wife knows about her, but the wife says, I don't want her here.
Okay.
You want to do things with her, that's your business, but that business must be done elsewhere. As long as that woman does not come in my space and my children's space. So she knows about her. She knows that when you do not spend time at home, you are spending it with her. When you go on your work trips, we know that you are going with her. The wife does not have an issue with that. Okay. But the only thing is that don't come here and tell us that you're going to bring a second wife. So in that case, it's a no-go. Let her remain a side chick. Why? Because you cannot pen this woman to be at the same level with me. Okay. I'm comfortable calling her a side chick because I'm the main wife. You know, because you don't want to let go of her. In some instances, bear in mind that the side chick could be having children with this man. The wife knows about those children. Sure. Then in this case, it is the wife who decides what happens about those children.
Hey, man, what you're talking is like a movie.
It sounds like a movie, but it's a reality of things. This is what's happening. We are living in a world whereby some things have been accepted. The dysfunction in the society have been accepted to be normality. You know, so we are dealing with that second one. Then the third one, it's the one who's not getting joy in their marriage. Okay. So she then decides, I will also go look for somebody on the outside. Yes. This person is also married. So they only target married ones. Okay. They don't go for single people. Okay. Because once they go for single person, a single person does not have anything to lose. Hey. So the married one, they've got a lot to lose. So that relationship becomes safe for both of them.
Okay.
So this person would then date another a woman who is married, who's got a husband, and that woman becomes now a side chick. So you are now a married woman at the same time as
A side chick.
Yeah.
And, and the reason they would go also probably for the married ones,
Yeah.
is because the single ones, they demand a lot of time. There's a lot that which is...
Look, they demand a lot of time, but also they do not have a sense of being married. So they don't understand the intricacies
Yes.
of being married. And remember, hence I said, they've got nothing to lose. So when this person goes and look for another married person, they're looking at themselves and say, at least we love our children to be in a secure home. We love our children to have their mother and father in the same place.
Yes.
We are just not happy with our partners. But because we're not happy with our partners, we will find now companionship in each other. So that's where it starts. So they have invested their lives in their marriages, but then they say, let's also become selfish and become side dish to each other. For whatever reason, it could be for sexual purposes. Bear in mind that there are some people who are sexually starved in their marriages. And it could be for various reasons. Maybe indeed their husband is actually denying them sex intentionally. He's busy with whatever. And no matter how much they plead with the husband to say, please give me a sex, the husband does not want to listen. So the woman says, okay, it's fine. I'll go become a side dish for somebody else because you don't want to satisfy me.
Sure.
In some cases, the husband maybe has got diabetes and, he's got erectile dysfunction. And this woman realized that, I'm going to have a dry spell.
I'm stuck for life.
I'm stuck for life here.
And this guy don't want medical attention or to be assisted.
Exactly. He doesn't want to be assisted. So therefore, I'm going to look for somebody who can satisfy my sexual needs, But then it becomes a bit tricky in a sense that when the other side chick has been caught, maybe a man has been caught, now you're going to be left alone to go again to source a new one. That means you need to go out of your way to go break another marriage. Because that other one has failed. So the married side chick, the danger with them is that they only go to break marriages. Because they don't go for single people. And there's a lot of them. Don't think it's very rife. Let me tell you.
It's very rife.
Yeah, it's very rife, And you find that most of this relationship, they also happen at work. So they know that you are married. And when they go to work, they become each other's spouses there. And during lunch or whatever, they can take time to steal each other and go have their deed. It's safe, it's secure. You won't even suspect that something is happening. Because they understand that we don't want to mess up our marriages. You don't call each other at home. You talk only outside the house. So you sitting there thinking, I've got a married, my wife is married, so therefore they would not do anything that is foolish. But they do it. You don't even know about it. And they keep telling you, honey, don't worry, you my man, I'll never do anything stupid. Now, with that, the danger is that it can go for a long time because there's an understanding between the partners. So this other partner will not just send messages willy-nilly because they know that this person is married. We don't want to mess up that space. So the only time they talk, it's when they are outside their homes. You will not even know about it. Unless if one day one of them falter and then they make a mistake. But the married side chick relationship can go on for a very long time.
It becomes the same with the second type of the professional one. Let's look on the first one.
Yeah, now the first one is an unfortunate one. And it's unfortunate in a sense that, and before we go into that, what it does though is that it can turn the one who does not know that they are a side chick into a professional side chick. Because once you have been dealt a serious blow like that, where you've dated guys where you thought you are a main chick and you realize later that you're actually not a main chick, you're a side chick. But you're falling in love with this person. And even if you do leave them, you start now to create an impression that maybe you are attracted to men who are married. You then go out of your way now starting to look for men who are married. Then it now upgrades you into the second category, which is now a professional side chick.
Because of the circumstances
you've gone through.
of the failures of the relationships you had.
Exactly.
And then ultimately find yourself
Yeah.
there.
You also start to believe that maybe I am born to become a side chick. Because here am I thinking that Joe is my main. Because and bear in mind that they do not see and they cannot tell that they are a side chick. They are not even aware because their relationship is run in terms of the guy's rules.
Okay.
Yeah, so the guy comes and says, I'm a very busy man. You don't just call me anytime you want to call me. And I don't do sleepovers except if I go on business trip. I will take you with me when I go. So you've got everything that you need, but you just adhere to the rules. And he tells you, I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, so I make sure 8 o'clock I'm asleep, so you don't call me after 8. So you start to believe that, no, this is the guy who has got a routine, so I can't just call him after 8.
Yes.
And you forget that, but hang on. Since I've met this guy, I've never met his parents. I've never met his brothers. And he keeps telling me, no, we don't have a good relationship with those people.
Okay, okay. There's always a story.
There's always a story.
That really blocks you to see his family.
To see his family. And he doesn't also do sleepovers. The only time he sleep over is when he's out on a work assignment.
Okay.
But he also makes sure that he tags you along.
Okay.
But also, he makes it known to you that, I'm a very respected person. Social media, you don't post me. So you will never post him on social media. And even with him, if he does, or if he's active on social media, you'll only see him with a very, selected few people. So he doesn't also post that much. He does not like social media at all, in actual fact. So even you, when you go out with him and you are going to very nice places, you cannot post those pictures. So I remember there was one story where the wife was not home. This guy took the side chick to the house.
Okay.
When the side chick got there,
took
pictures
to
his house, to the marital house. When they got home, the side chick took pictures of herself. But the guy was not aware because she was taking a shower. The lady posted the pictures on social media. One day the wife sees this picture and says, but this is my house. This is my house. No, went into this woman's profile, checked and says, where did you take these pictures? This woman says, no, house so and so and so. Says, but this is my house. This woman says, no, it's not your house. Says, I'm telling you, it's my house. They made an appointment, they met, and then she came to the house. When the husband walked in, she found the wife and the side chick waiting for him. That man felt like the world could just open and he could just jump in there and disappear in it. So the point I'm making is that there are so many women who don't know that they are the side chicks. And in fact, you hear stories that I visited my boyfriend, but there was this particular room that he did not want me to go in. The room was locked. That locked room, there's no snake there. It's a main bedroom.
Yeah, because that would be the thought at first. You say, hey, this guy,
no,
that is a main.
There's no snake. It's a main bedroom that has got the wife's stuff in it. Now, when you came, you were taken to the guest bedroom. Because the guest bedroom now, it looks all well made and it looks like this is luxury. You're thinking this is his main bedroom. No. His main bedroom is the one that was locked.
You cannot
get in there, And so many people don't know these tricks of these guys. They're thinking, maybe he's a guy who's got rules and let me respect the boundaries and so forth. No, it's not the boundaries.
Yes.
And you see that when a guy, they come with a story usually. I've been heartbroken before, so I want us to take things easy. But you realize, but we've been dating for 18 months. But we're still taking things easy. For 18 months. I can't post you. I don't know your friends. I don't know.
Slowly.
Yes. But this guy is doing everything for you. So that's where, he beats you. He does everything for you. When you want him during the day you can talk all you want. But from 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock,
not available.
Not available.
Sure.
He wakes up very early. What he does, he sends you a message. You don't send him a good morning message. He sends you. You respond to his message.
So there are strict rules that which you are given there.
Yeah.
And you can't break those rules.
No, you can't. And you know what he does? They're very smart. If you break any of the rules, he punishes you so severely and threatens to leave you that you shall never again attempt to break that rule. So he keeps you in a space where you become so scared That, hey, you know what? If I hate him again, this guy will be gone. Remember, these are also well to do with or well off guys that when you look at him, it's a guy that you want to have in your life. You know, it's not just any mambara that come and they don't even have money.
Very respectable
guys.
guys.
Very respectable. They've got very good positions and they occupy senior positions wherever they work, and they're very decent guys. You know, and bear in mind that usually guys like that, they cheat because they have money. You know, guys who don't have money, they cheat because they're unhappy. there's a difference here. And the guy who doesn't have money.
So having money, it's also dangerous.
It's also a problem. It's also a problem because remember when you hear in the Bible, it says money answers all questions.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's the root of all evil.
Yeah. But that's the love of money. But the money on its own, it answers you know, a whole myriad of questions, and which is the truth. So it can get you into places that you would not necessarily have gotten to if you didn't have money. You know? So they use their money. Bear in mind also that usually most side chick relationships are about money. It's transactions.
It's just transactions.
Yeah, you know, you keep me happy, you bring the fun, you give me sex, you are available whenever I want, and I'll give you money back.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's nothing else.
So you spoke earlier on to say they would punish you if you break the rules. So it looks like also in what you've just spoken of or spoke about that they will balloon you.
Yeah.
They will put you up there.
Yeah.
And brush you and polish you, shine you, and give you the splendor.
Yes.
And then once you act otherwise,
you're thinking, am I going to fall from there? That's glory for me.
And when this person is just switch off the tap,
you fall.
And
you can't afford that. They've already introduced you to top restaurants. They've introduced you to top designer clothes. You know, you are now wearing this or doing that because they are there. And they actually did come and you know, play their part in your life, you know. So, but that is done intentionally to lock you into a cycle of remaining into these abusive relationships, you know. And remember, with you are thinking at some point, me and this guy will get married. Your intentions are pure. Your intentions are good. You are looking for a husband, and he comes and ticks all the boxes. You know, he's decent, he's driven, he's focused, you know, and he's ambitious. He's got all that I'm looking for. When we go out, we go to the top places. No ways, I'm going to mess this one.
Sure.
So if you make a mistake, you punish yourself to say, hey, Joanna, never ever do that again. Meanwhile, you don't realize that he's playing psychological games on you. You know, to say, if you dare again step onto that, I'll punish you by leaving you.
And indeed, you'll never do that again.
And bear in mind that he's already told you that you are the woman that he needs. Now, listen to that. You are the woman I need, not the woman I want. You need to understand that. So basically, you're fulfilling a need for him.
There is kind of a gap.
There's a gap that he does not have, that you are fulfilling. It could be at home. The wife is not, you know, fun. And she's just a homemaker, a mother, but she's not a fun person that I can also take to the Durban Julys and so forth and so forth. But even if he does take you to the Durban Julys, you know what he does? He takes you there, you sit with other women there, he sits with the gents. You will never be seen with him in social setups. You know, so many women think, because we are here in Durban July, my man brought me here. The only time you're going to see your man is when he drops you, and when you go to the hotel.
That's it.
During the event, there's not much of interaction between the two of you. You know, because people cannot see him with you. In fact, even when you communicate, you'll find me at the hotel room. Now, you've accepted that thinking, no, he's my man, he's like that.
Yes.
No, he's not like that.
He's not like that.
No, he's playing
hiding.
you. He's hiding something so that he can keep you on a straight and narrow. That is his intention. So many people don't understand that, and they don't even know what to look out for to determine if they're a side chick.
Yes.
And they will say to you, you know, my husband works so hard that he wakes up at 4 a.m. in the morning. So if I were to call him at night, he would be asleep. No, he's not sleeping. He's spending time with his family. You know? And these guys come festive season. They tell you, no, you know, we are family oriented. We will be going to Venda. It will be me and the whole family. So I'll see you in January. You know, that's why you've had a whole lot of women saying, this this man is my boyfriend, only to realize that he's getting married, on a particular day in Limpopo. And you think, we've been dating for 18 months with this guy. I did not even know that he's got a woman. And you only realize then that for the last 18 months, I was being made a side chick. So it's a very painful thing, unfortunately, because, look, nobody wants to be played.
Yes.
And as much as you hear a lot of women saying, if you had told me up front, but if this guy told her up front to say, I want you to be my side chick, she wouldn't have agreed to that. So this guy will go and sell you a lie. And they're very manipulative in terms of selling very sad and sobbing stories.
Okay.
Know what, no? The way the relationship with my ex ended, I don't want to be in that space anymore, so I want to take things easy and slowly and so forth. And you start to feel for them to say, you know what, let me just give him space and time until he's healed. And I'm going to be there to play a role of helping him, to deal with his emotions. You are thinking you're helping him, meanwhile he's playing.
And then you are played.
Yeah, you're played. That's it.
But there is this other side I want us probably to look at. I know you touched these three angles. Where this other side chick in the first category is unaware that this man is married.
Mm-hmm.
But there are cases where this side chick knows that this man is married.
Yeah.
And then this one is not necessarily a professional.
Yes.
But is lied to as well to say, hey man, my marriage is collapsing.
It's falling apart, yes.
Yeah, it's falling apart.
Yeah.
And I'm getting out of there.
Yeah.
And I want to marry you.
Yes.
And then can you take us through that? Because we know there are stories like that. And then people get broken.
Yeah. Look, bear in mind that relationships are key to human beings.
Yes.
And because we are social beings, we desire to be in relationships with certain people that we desire.
Mm-hmm.
And you may find that this woman, when he looks at that particular guy, is a type of guy that could make a good boyfriend and a good husband for her.
Mm-hmm.
And when this guy comes to this woman and starts to narrate the sad stories and the injustices that this guy is encountering in his marriage, this woman starts to have pity on him. And in her heart, she's saying, I can actually do better.
Yes.
And as much as she may doubt that this guy's story is real, this guy is going to present, a compelling story about the hardships and the sadness that he's encountering in his marriage, to a point that he's going to send some messages to this woman where he and the wife were fighting.
Sure.
And he started to show this woman these messages, and this woman looks at the messages and say, oh, shame. No, I believe this man.
And feel sorry for
feel sorry for him. And she would enter into a relationship with the hope that in 6 months' time, this marriage will be dissolved. So she's checking the time. But if she falls into that marriage, now this guy starts, if she falls into that relationship, the guy starts to devise a second plan. So when the relationship is 3 months into the relationship, the guy starts to come up with new stories. My wife is making this divorce difficult. She does not want to sign because she's fighting for some investments that I've got overseas.
Sure.
And now the lawyers are saying it will take 3 months before they can get a letter from that company. So he'll come up with a story to buy time. Because he's also enjoying keeping you as a side chick. Maybe he's all, come on, we know that all marriages have got problems. That's just the nature of marriage. And I think while we are speaking of this side chick thing, people must not get an idea that we're actually promoting it.
Yes.
We are not promoting it. Every marriage has got a problem.
Yeah.
Every marriage is going to go through trials and tribulations. It's the nature of marriage. But that does not mean when you are going through hardships, you must go and look for somebody else. So that's just what's going to happen.
Yes.
So
we're just bringing what is happening and then how where people find themselves.
Where they find themselves,
Yes.
So when this guy is having these issues at home, sometimes the reality is, I'm sure you will know, and as much as I know, you fight about some things that you eventually give up fighting about with your spouse as a married person.
Yes.
But giving up does not mean now I am justified to go look for a side chick. So usually many people use that as an opportunity to say, because I've been fighting with you about this for so long, therefore I am making a decision to go look for a side chick. That even if you do catch me, I'll say, you made me to go look for a side chick. So they then go look for the side chicks and start to sell them very sad stories.
Yes.
And they give them an impression that in 6 months' time, sisonke.
Yes.
Now, this side chicks, obviously, I mean, it's not like she's stupid. You know, she's assessing the whole story to say, okay, if in 6 months' time I'll have him, why not? You know? So usually some of them will say, okay, go sort out your things. I'll wait for you in 6 months' time. I'll be here. But even if you tell them that, they become so persistent that tomorrow they phone you, hey, let's go for a comedy night. And you're thinking about it, look, I like this guy, why not? And they are very courageous to take you in the public space, those ones. So you will think because we went to a comedy show, people saw us, therefore, this is a sign that this man is with me.
He's the one. Yeah.
But you forget to remember that the comedy show was actually out of town. So, it's not necessarily where
it is well calculated.
Yeah, it's not necessarily where you guys are known.
Yes,
you know, you'll be unlucky if you find people that know you there. But people, they take that risk to say, no, we'll go to a comedy show and see what happens. So they go to the show and everything went well. And after that, he's a gentleman. He takes you home. He says, no, I'll give you your time.
Yes.
But tomorrow, it's your birthday. He'll send flowers. So he'll do 4 things for you where you realize, no, man, this guy's into me, man.
Hey.
This guy wants me, man.
Sure.
Now, by thinking like that, what do? You start to want him. And one day he phones you, says, you know, I left the house, I'm not feeling good. You know, the issues at my house and I don't know where to go. Guess what you say? No, come to my place. You've got your own townhouse and he comes there. What he needs when he gets there is for you to make him coffee and give him a massage. One thing leads to the other. Then you start to having sex with him. Without even now discussing the relationship now is ongoing. So you have already fallen for him because he set the trap for you. Now you are in this relationship, you're waiting. Okay, 6 months has passed. Hey, brother, 6 months has passed. Ish, you know what I'm dealing with. So he's made his wife to be this evil person in your eyes.
Sure. Yeah.
Until one day you meet your wife and you're thinking, such a lovely woman. But he's made it a point that every time when you think about his wife, you think about this woman who tells him that he's a man of, you know, less value. He's a no good man. So he's selling you this idea that this man is having it tough.
Sure.
You start now to tell maybe your close friend to say, Ish, I feel for Joe, hey? Joe's wife is terrible. Don't see her like that in social media. That woman is horrible. Sure. And so that was the intention of Joe. So that you need to believe that his wife is actually
feel sorry
horrible.
for him.
You feel sorry for him.
And then your heart becomes so soft
for him.
Yeah. Yes.
And now what he's done, you want to see him more. Now bear in mind that Joe is the type of guy that come festive season, he does not even spend time with his wife. So he tells you that I'll spend the festive with you. See, they'll leave me alone. And indeed, come festive season, Joe is alone. He phones you, you're thinking, I've got Joe. Now, because you've spent these special holidays with him, you already assume that I'm the wife. You already seeing yourself getting married to Joe in 6 months' time. Even if now he's told you that this woman is delaying to sign the papers, you are now understanding. Because you know the kind of woman she is. And now you are the one who's giving Joe ideas now. You know, Joe, you know, your mentality and sanity, it's important. I don't think you should spend your time on this woman. You know, don't worry, baby. I'll book a holiday for us. Let's go to Mpumalanga. And Joe is having fun of his life with a side chick who does not know that she's a side chick. She's hoping that in 6 months' time she'll become the main chick. She does not realize that she's been, you know, tagged along for that 6 months, for a year, for 18 months, for 2 years. 3 years passes by, Joe is not divorcing.
Sure.
And eventually Joe goes back and say, this woman doesn't want us to divorce. She says it's for the children, and she says it's better for us to stay in the same house so that we don't disrupt the life of the children. The children are still young, and then they're going to school in that area. They are used to this lifestyle, and you buy into that. And then you end up saying, okay, Joe is just staying with his wife for the sake of the children, but I'm the main chick here. You don't realize that you actually the great side chick for Joe.
Hey man, you've touched a lot of things, and then we hope our viewers are getting things. And as you speak, as you break things down, one realized to say, this matter of side chick, it's very complex. There's a lot in it, and my mind now it's running. I'm getting into this professional side chick. Who knows that you are married. In however way, it could happen that the man went out and proposed, or the woman made herself available, or there was whatever, and then she's okay. But along the journey, then she turns and says, you must get rid of this one. I need it to be the main person now. And these are situations that which are present, and we know that there are people that when things did not go that way, they were left in a terrible situation. Or even the other way, because this for me it goes the other way. If this side chick, the professional side chick, was persistent enough, and then she wins over you, and then you get rid of your marriage, there's already a chaos also there. But also when you leave her, also it's a chaos because she has found herself into that level of being ready to be the main one. And these are complications. But I was passing there as you're talking, then I'm thinking to say there is this other elements. But the other element, of course, because I want us to get into something, is due to the challenges that the marriage has, the wife be the one who says, go and find someone. And this looks like it's not real, but we get stories of that, where your wife says, you go find someone. And then this, for me, then it leads us, because we also want to find solutions for people, and to say how then they can make things better and well in their relationship by finding the reasons. I know we have spoken, but now I want us to break it down. We've spoken a lot of reasons why you would find men going out of their marriage. To say, what is it that which is in their marriage that which takes them out? And then how then, because I want us, I know I'm telling this too, I'm bringing this too, to say, what should be done in the marriage in all of the circumstances that which we can find that leads a man, therefore, to get out to a side chick?
I think we need to be very careful there, that we do not create an impression that when people are unhappy, therefore, there is a justification of going out. Now, if you look at the creation and the nature of marriage, marriage is a union that says, I am going to take you as you are, and I'm going to walk with you as you are, and I'll walk with you to the end of time as you become. So that's what marriage is. It should be, and that's the creation of marriage, meaning, and that's why we say till death do us part. So meaning, I'm saying, should you get to a point whereby you are suffering from menopause, I'm going to stand by you. Should you get to a point whereby you're suffering from diabetes and cancer, whatever, I'm going to stand by you. That should not change the fact that I'm in a marriage with you. And that's why I'm not mentioning love here. Because love can fail you.
It's a commitment.
But the devotion of marriage cannot fail you.
Cannot fail.
You are devoted to that marriage, and not necessarily the person. the marriage, the union itself, which is the union of God. So people usually, when they're upset with the person, they want to hate the person. They don't realize that when they're hating the person, in actual fact, they are hating the marriage.
Yes.
Now, why do I say the marriage? Bear in mind that the moment we get married, we start to have other stakeholders in the marriage, which are the children.
Yes.
So when I now hate the marriage, I'm not only hating you, I'm also hating the children. So not only the children, but we then create extended relationships with respective families.
Yes.
Your family, my family. Your families as well, they become stakeholders. They become proud because of us. They go out, they tell people that we can show that we have established, good children, good unions, and so forth. This is the evidence,
Yes.
And so we become a crown in our families. So, and we become that crown purely based on the marriage union. So
what you are bringing as you are going to continue there is when the marriage fails, it destroys a lot.
It destroys a lot, a lot. So that's why I'm bringing this in for people to understand that I was not just married to your sex. I was not just married to your companionship. I was married to your soul.
Sure.
That's why it says, till death do us part. So the marriage then becomes that capsule that encapsulates all these stakeholders, including us, including our souls, and everything else. And that's why it needs to be protected at all times. So if you take it, that's why the Bible says, he who breaks the hedge, the serpent bites. So that marriage is protected by the hedge, which was given by God, upon creation.
Yes.
And that's why he created this marriage himself, for us to become the caretakers. So when you are unhappy with your spouse, focus on the unhappiness at the time. Don't make long-term decision based on temporary situations. And usually people do that you go out of your way on that particular day you're upset. You go start to now form a long-term partnership with somebody else that should be married by somebody else. But now you are holding them to ransom and you're keeping them in captivity that they then don't find their future spouses. So you need to understand that when you are in marriage, there's nothing that should drive you out of that capsule.
Yes.
At all.
Yes.
Tell me of the stories. And unless maybe if your spouse wants to kill you, then unfortunately it's a different story. I mean, if you are abused severely and all the time, it only makes sense that you need to become protected. I mean, even the Bible speaks about abuse, that God hates abuse as it is. So in a case like that, you are very much, protected. And that's why he gives us so many prescripts to say, when you are in a marriage, this is what you need to do. You need to give each other to yourself to each other in terms of your conjugal rights. You need to honor each other. You need to pray together. You need to raise children together. You need to submit together. There's a whole lot of things that are given to us for us to practice so that we don't break this union. But when the disease come or calamity come and it hits one of the spouses, that spouse that is hit by calamity needs to understand that this calamity did not only hit my wife, it also hit me.
Yes.
So
you are together.
We are together in this. I'm not going to leave my wife sleeping in bed and go have sex outside because she's sleeping and she's sick. For as long as that woman is not dead, you're not bringing another woman into the picture.
Yes.
And until death separates you, only then you can say, I'm going to bring in another person. So people justify the side chicks to say, I'm not having enough sex at home. So therefore that's why I need another woman. My wife is not outgoing. I'm saying fight with your wife to build a marriage. Don't fight because there's somebody else. Fight with your wife or your husband to say, we're going to fix this. We are going to go out together. We are going to become friends. We're going to have to learn how to love each other. We are going to go to the comedy nights together. I don't like the comedy. But because you like it, you want to go there, I'm going to have to come along and bring myself to that space where we can enjoy this together. Instead of me saying, because you don't like it, let me substitute you. There is no substitution for as long as your spouse is still alive. So many people create reasons And that's why I love Matthew 19 when the Pharisees say to Christ, can we divorce our wife for any reason? So basically what they've done there was to say, if she's no longer appealing, she's fat, she's got 6 children, she's got silver stripes that I don't like. Your body is now not appealing. Jesus says, no, you can't. You need to love her in that body.
Yes.
You need to become the one who cheers her with that body and in that body. You need to become the one that will say to her, I don't care what the world says about you. What I'm saying about you is that you are my queen. I don't care what the world says about you. What the world says about you does not define the king that you are to me as a husband.
Yes.
So we don't, in essence, have a reason to be bringing in side chicks at all. Now, let me go back again.
Yes.
Usually, people, number one, they create reasons, but their own greed.
Yes.
There is an element of greed that gives rise to lust. That people don't want to deal with their own bodies. They find problems. These guys are very skilled in terms of creating problems in their marriages so that they can bring in a side chick. And these are the guys who are very dangerous in terms of playing the game, because what they do, they don't stick to one side chick. They go around sleeping with multiple people. And why do they do that? Because they are not willing to go and work on the issues in their marriages. So every time there's an issue, I'm going out.
Jump out.
Every time there's an issue, I'm going out. So that when you catch them, they can say, it's when we were fighting.
Yes.
But they're not taking responsibility. Now, when the Bible speaks about becoming one, I don't think many people understand that. And I had explained it to a guy and I said, let me show you something. There's a reason why we become one. The Bible says, and physically and spiritually, they become one. That's why the Bible says you cannot combine your body with a prostitute. Because once you do that, you become one with a prostitute. Now, when you go and you bring in a side chick, you sleep with a side chick, you take their spirit, you bring it home, you give it to your wife. Suddenly your wife starts to cheat. You don't understand. That woman of mine who was a Christian woman, you don't realize that you brought the side chick spirit here. She goes become a side chick. A married side chick. You see what happens now?
Yeah, what a development.
Yeah. So many people don't understand that for their wife to become a married side chick, it was not because she wanted to. You brought in the spirit of side chicks, you gave it to her. You brought in the spirit of cheating, you gave it to her. Because you have become one with that, they've become one with you, you are one with her, she becomes one with somebody else. Now, many people don't understand the dynamics right there. That's why when the Bible cautions us against sexual immorality, we should take that to heart with so much caution, understanding the consequences that this is bringing. That's why you find that now suddenly this side chick became aware that you are a married man. She finds it difficult to find single guys. She's carrying a spirit of a married man. She now goes around attracting married men. And then she wakes up and says, I don't know why I'm attracting married men. You are attracting them because you have a spirit of a married man that you're walking around with.
And then ultimately you find that this person now is finding it difficult to get married.
Yes, because they're married in essence. If you think about it. You know, because that's why you attract the guys who are married. Because you're operating at that level of marriage. You don't even realize it.
Masubelele. Man.
So that's why, and the matters of the spirits are very, very key and very important.
And people are taking it for granted.
People are taking it for granted. You. That's why if you are a guy who's curious and inquisitive, you need to question things about yourself to say, but I've been doing this. I see a trend. And also, if your wife happens to cheat, you need to ask, my wife is not that kind of a person. What happened? The moment you start to inquire, you start to see where the problem started. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes
and that inquiry requires a total humility from yourself.
Yes, from your side. Because you need to also say, let me lay myself bare here. Now, look at it this way. You start to date a woman who's just crazy. You know, this type of crazy women who do crazy things. Suddenly, your wife starts to behave like that woman. You tell her you've changed. But you don't realize that actually changed you.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
You brought the spirit
I
over.
brought the spirit over. You keep fighting your wife, saying you need to change back to who you used to be. You don't realize that what you need is total deliverance. Now, all the people involved in this chain needs to be delivered spiritually. So you keep going to counseling to deal with the psychology, but you're not dealing with the deliverance spiritually. The psychology is willing. That's why the Bible says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is failing.
It's failing.
You understand what I'm saying? The spirit is willing, but the spirit is not dealt with. You just deal with psychology, but you are failing because you are not touching the core of why we're having these people in our lives. So some of the side chicks, wherever they are, if they are tired of becoming side chicks, they need to stop for a moment and go do reflection.
Yes.
And get deliverance from this spirit.
Otherwise, they'll remain side chicks.
Otherwise, they remain side chicks forever. And that's when they get promoted to the professional side chicks. They end up accepting to say, now I'll be a side chick forever. Meanwhile, if they had dealt with that deliverance, they wouldn't have found themselves in that position. So it's a web that is creating confusion in the lives of married people, that if they were to stop for a moment and look into how did we get here, they will never ever solve that problem. That man will continue bringing women into your lives. That woman will starting to have affairs, and she'll look at herself and say, but I've never, used to having affairs. Why am I doing these things? And you find that she does not want to do that, but she finds herself being compelled at some point. Now, we need to understand something. If you go read, and I need our viewers to go read the scriptures. Proverbs 5, 6, and 7 is speaking exactly about the wayward woman that goes and meet this guy and says, I came out looking for you, and I have found you. Now, this guy thinking, it's a spirit that was looking for you because it knows you. Sure. It can identify with you.
My husband is gone.
My husband is gone. Oh God, can you see the web? Do you see the web? That one's got a husband looking for another one who's married. It says, my husband is gone. He's gone far.
Yes.
It says, let's go captivate ourselves in love until the morning. The morning comes, the Bible says, when the morning comes, you will be like a cow going to a slaughterhouse. There is no benefit in bringing the side chicks into your marriage.
My son, move away from such.
Move away from such. We have been cautioned so many times to say, move away from it. It says you are like a deer that's going to be pierced by an arrow. So we need to always remember that we are. Remember again, the Bible says the enemy is prowling like a lion seeking whom to devour. Yeah, so even the enemy is going around looking for us, those who are married, to turn us into people who bring in side chicks. Side chicks. So it's not that the devil is happy with us who are married. He wants to intoxicate us, corrupt us, and make us to go and cause more problem in the society. We are not safe as well. Yes. So we should not be sitting here thinking because we are sharing these things, therefore. No, we are not. That wayward woman is coming for us.
Sure.
We need to protect ourselves from such.
Yeah. Yo. Hey, guys. It's hot here today. Masubelele, we are closing, man. We are closing. So what we are saying to our viewers today, it does not matter. You are a president, you are a prime minister, you are a minister, you are a pastor, you are a bishop, you are a prophet. If you are married, your marriage will go into the rocks.
It's under trouble. It's under the microscopic eye of the enemy. And you see, sometimes when we preach the word of God as the ministers, we want to sound as though we are immune to these things. And we don't tell the people that we are teaching and preaching to say, hey, we are also having the problems.
We are also having, yes.
Yeah, our job is to start to build and to fight.
Yes.
And it's to encourage our wives to also say, you know what, we are having these issues. We need to stand up with our husbands and fight the enemy. We are not the enemy of each other. The enemy is out there trying to break in. And the enemy was there from the beginning of time. The moment God brought the woman in their lives, do you know the story? Do you know that when Adam was alone, the enemy never went to Adam?
It never went to Adam.
When Adam was alone, the enemy did not feature anywhere. But the moment the woman was brought to Adam, the enemy said, no ways. This ones will never see the light of day. The enemy made sure that these ones are going to fall. And indeed they fell.
And they fell.
But remember, the plan of the devil is in the plan of God. So he thought they fell, it was the end. But God said, I'll bring another.
Yes.
The sun will come and crush the head of the serpent.
So God turned things around.
He turned things around.
Yes.
He brought Jesus for our salvation. But he says, in order for Jesus to be effective in our life, we should function within the prescript of the word of God. If we walk out of the word of God, we are at risk of being bitten by the serpent.
Sure.
So many people are acknowledging Jesus Christ, but are not walking under the prescripts of Jesus Christ. That's why they're always bringing all sorts of things into their life. Minister, prime minister, president, all of us, pastors, we are under attack. But we need to counter-attack using the prescripts of the word of God and the ones that God has given to us for daily living with our wives.
Man, you wrapped it.
Yeah.
I mean, you wrapped it. You closed this. You've closed the show. You've closed the show so perfectly. We say to the couples.
Yeah.
We say to the men, fight for your marriage.
Fight for your marriage.
Fight for your marriage. Stand strong.
No side cheek formed against you
Shall prosper. Yes. Every problem is solvable.
Yes.
Be humble, both of you, in that marriage. Check what is it that which you need to deal with. Deal with it.
That's it.
Stick together for the rest of your lives. Otherwise, you are available for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are available that people can contact us, can come to us, and then they be assisted.
If they don't know where to find us, let them go to Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and look for Busang Studios.
Yes.
In Centurion.
Yes.
That's where we are.
Busang Studio is easy. You get to Busang Studio. By the way, if you also want to have what we are doing, you want to book the studio, come and get the studio.
It's anointed.
Yes, it's anointed, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. You want your own podcast, you just come, you contact Busang Studio, you want some photography.
That's it.
So you are sorted. So find us there and then we are ready to help at all time. We are done here.
Shalom.
Shalom.